A dimly lit, modern apartment with sparse furnishings. The protagonist stands before a closed door, gripping the knob tightly, frustration etched on his face. A transparent barrier shimmers faintly as he pushes against it, a message glowing mid-air. The absolute dweller cannot leave the dwelling space. Outside the door, eerie shadows hint at lurking dangers in a desolate hallway, contrasting the safety within the apartment. Through a cracked window, the protagonist peers out into a dystopian urban landscape. Buildings are partially collapsed, vines creep up their facades, and monstrous creatures patrol the streets. A large bird-like monster slams against the window, its sharp beak and glowing eyes menacing, sending ripples of fear through the glass. The room shakes slightly as the impact resounds. The protagonist sits on a couch, clutching a framed family photo. A warm, golden light emanates from the image, contrasting the cold, artificial light of the apartment. Around him, unopened water bottles and a few scattered instant noodle packs highlight his dwindling resources. His phone lies on the table, with a failed text message and a flashing resend icon. A notification sound cuts through the silence, pulling him from his despair. A green-skinned goblin horde swarms a massive bird's carcass in the distant street below, their screeches filling the air. Suddenly, parts of the carcass vanish, pixelating into glowing particles. Goblins scatter in confusion, while on the protagonist's screen, notifications about experience points and loot settlement pop up. His face shifts from confusion to realization as the lights in his apartment flicker back on, illuminating his space. The protagonist stands in the middle of his apartment, a glowing blue menu screen hovering before him. It displays newly unlocked skills, including Dignity Maintenance of the Absolute Dweller. He rushes to his fridge, which hums back to life, revealing cold, preserved food inside. Water flows from the faucet, and lights glow softly, symbolizing his apartment returning to functionality. Relief and determination replace his earlier despair. A bright computer screen illuminates the protagonist's face as he scrolls through old family photos. One picture captures his parents and him on a family vacation, their smiling faces frozen in time. Tears well up as he whispers, "Mom! Dad!" gripping the screen like a lifeline. The apartment's warmth contrasts with the cold reality outside, reinforcing his resolve to reunite with his family. Through the window, the protagonist watches a chaotic scene. Goblins shrieking and scrambling as parts of the monster bird vanish into thin air. The fading carcass emits a faint glow, dissolving into particles. Inside the apartment, a wallet icon appears on his glowing screen, showing a sudden deposit of $2,203,240. The protagonist stares at the message, stunned, while the goblins retreat into the night. Standing at the window, the protagonist gazes out at the desolate city. His hands tighten into fists, his eyes burning with determination. Behind him, the apartment hums with life, a stark contrast to the ruined world beyond. On the glowing blue menu screen, his skills and resources reflect newfound hope. The scene closes on his whisper, "I'll bring Mom and Dad back. Absolutely."